And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Michaela Loves Gymnastics, the very first episode of the new show, the new podcast, the new thing we are starting over here, Gymnastics for Everyone. Um, in a second, we should have a guest. You may recognize them from, the old show days, Oscar. Now, forgive me, my name is not Addict, so I do not know how to do these things. So bear with me when I see Oscar gets into the thing. I will add him to the show. Yes, but when I see him pop on the thing, and in the very first episode, we are going to talk about the Pan American Games. When Oscar gets on, we're going to talk about the Pan American Games. We're going to talk about lineups. We're going to talk about the implications for a couple of gymnasts. We're going to talk about people who we expect to win medals at the Pan American Games. When Oscar gets on, he also want to talk about some things that's going on in the country of China. And I'm more than happy to discuss that. And I guess towards the end of the show, we're going to discuss our feelings about, the war and how that impacts, gymnastics. So, hey, everybody, thank you for tuning in once again. I'm just waiting on Oscar to get on. Hell, I'm just waiting on because I don't want to start talking and he gets on, then I don't know how to bring Daddy up. But the Pan American Games, first of all, thank you everybody for all of the support we've been getting. That I've been getting, oh my God, I'm so sorry. That I have been getting on all of my shorts that I've been putting up on the channel. I've never gotten this many views on anything, so I really appreciate it. And please continue to watch the shorts. Please continue to watch the videos. Everything is so much appreciated. I think he's up there. Yay!
Hi, how are you?
Hi, friend. How are you doing?
Um, you know, it's actually I've been really emotional just because of all the violence and like all the death and whatnot. But I'm really happy to be here right now.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Thank you for having me on.
No problem, friend. So I do want to talk about that, but I want to talk about, let's talk about some positive stuff first. Let's talk about some gymnastics before we get into the weight of the world of it all.
Please, yes, please.
So, first of all, we have a Pan American Games coming up next week in a few days, actually. And there are some, I wouldn't say major implications to this Pan American Games, but there are some things to look forward to. What are some things that you are looking forward to? Hi,
The,
Momo. How are you doing, friend?
I'm most excited for what feels like the obvious choices, which is like the Rebecca versus all the Americans who didn't get to go to Worlds, just like those head-to-head comparisons.
Do you think realistically, if because I didn't expect Rebecca to do the all around at this competition, but it seemed like she's going to do the all around, and it seems like Flavia is going to do the all around, which I didn't expect. I expected them to do a couple of events, and I thought they was going to let Julius Suarez and Jada Barbosa do the all around at this competition, but
Because why is it necessary? It's not.
it's not. But Rebecca did an interview saying that, every time the Pan American Games came around, she always was hurt. This is the first time she was ever healthy, so she wants to go and, show up and show out. And I think Flavia is the reigning Pan American Game all around champion, and I think she want to defend her title.
Oh, okay. So she's won Pan Am champion. She's the Pan Am champion and Pan Am Games champion.
Maybe Flavia is the Pan American champion, and not the Pan American Games champion. This whole shit is confusing between the Pan American champion and the Pan American Games. I hope they get that shit figured out, and we don't need to do that ever again.
Same with Asian champs and Asian Games, or no?
We don't ever have to do that ever again.
Flavia is the championships all around gold medalist from 2022 and the bronze medalist from the games in 2015 in the all around.
Okay. Do you think Go ahead.
Sorry,
I'm sorry.
Did you see videos of Rebecca doing all 4 events in training? I just saw
They
4.
were showing her. They were showing because the Brazilians are already there in Chile, so they were doing, in backroom training, and they showed Rebecca doing floor dance throughs. We don't know what tumbling passes she's gonna do. I would imagine Rebecca coming to this competition doing a lot less difficulty than she did at Worlds. Maybe only doing her Yurchenko double and maybe her Lopez.
That sounds like a really smart plan. It's kind of unprecedented, right? Like she hasn't been in this position after she's been so successful to water down. I feel like she's just been like saving herself to peak at these competitions recently.
No, you're absolutely right.
So I'm curious to see what they do. And I hope that they choose the decision that keeps her healthiest.
Because for her first tumbling pass, all she would have to do is just do a double tuck, and she still would get a instead of a full in, do a double tuck.
Jeez. She should definitely do that.
Momo, it depends. It depends on how far she watered her routines down. I think the routines that she did at World was to specifically challenge Simone. I think she could do a lot less and still win this competition.
I also wouldn't really consider she would be training for events to do just the all around in the team final and not for all around final.
True.
That is less bad to me somehow.
And plus, we also have to remember the format of this competition. So qualifications is qualifications and team finals. And then they're moving it over. Then the next day is all around finals. Then the next 2 days are event finals, just like they did at Asian Games. So
I feel like she can do her 4 watered down routines for the qualification and the team, and then sit at the all around and then get a nice bars gold and a beam gold. That seems fine to me.
I say she could do, because no American is going to do a chung. So I don't think she needs to do a chung. She could just do her beautiful DTY and not risk any injuries with vault. And hell, even a DTY and a Lopez, I think that's good enough to win the competition at Pan Americans. I think beam and floor, beam and bars, I think, those are 2 okay events. I don't think she needs to water down those events at all. It's just floor is the only event that I'm worried. And I think if she just instead of doing her front through to a full in, maybe do her front through to a double tuck and then do a double layout as her second tumbling pass and don't do a third tumbling pass and end with a double pipe. I think that's still good enough to win. And I absolutely think Rebecca Andrade could absolutely sweep this competition.
Yeah,
It's
it was never a question of if she would win with watered down routines. It was just like, why why do you need this title when
because
you're so prone to injury when you like compete
that's
more?
true. That's true too. But we have to understand for the Brazilian
And
people,
it's like the Olympic year, so that just feels extra like be to important to be cautious about that.
but the Pan American Games is still a big title to them. It's not as big as Worlds, but it's still a big title to win. It's something that I'm pretty sure the Brazilian gymnasts want to check off their resume. It's not so
I
important
think
that
so too, yeah.
like to America. It's not. It's still a big competition. It's not as big, but it's still we sent our B team there, but like Brazil clearly are sending their A. Like it's like they're
They're
doing what China
sending
did.
Jade Barbosa there like in the 2000s and 2010s. She
Hmm.
was their top girl, like for instance. So who which of the Americans besides Jordan has two vaults that's being sent? So just Jordan is okay. So I want Jordan, I want Hillary Heron from Panama to get a vault medal because she fell in qualification on her second vault.
It's just going to be hard for her because Alexis Moreno is here too. So I think the three vault people are going to be
Right,
Rebecca Joy.
so it just takes one of those six vaults to be off for her to find her way there, perhaps.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Plus, she doesn't have to upgrade through to a 1.5. She could just do a Yurchenko full, and I think that still should be good enough too.
Is that what she fell on, a 1.5?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I saw, feel like she used to have a DTY, but maybe that's not true.
I remember. See, I'm not at it, so I don't know how to pull up clips, so that's not going to happen. But I
We
don't.
don't need clips.
I know. I think I remember seeing her do a DTY too at Pan American Championships.
Right, yes, she looked really good there.
So I think she watered down, just hoping to just to qualify. Maybe she was going to upgrade it in finals, and it just didn't work out for her that way.
She definitely, her priority was to qualify, and she did. So, really happy for them.
I also am very looking forward to what the Mexican team is going to do and how they make a comeback from the disappointing of not qualifying a full team through to um, yay Nicki Minaj. Um, Not qualifying a full team through to the Olympics. I want to see what they got because I think the Mexicans are a really strong team. They just had some uncharacteristic errors at Worlds that I think took them down. But I think as a team, they should be stronger than the Canadian team that they're sending here.
I'm looking for the rosters because I don't know who's on both teams.
I think the Mexicans are sending the exact same team they sent the Worlds. I have no idea who the Canadians are sending here.
I saw in your video you mentioned Ellie Black might pop up.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't be either.
Now,
Are you excited for Pink Friday too? I am.
yay, yay, Nicki Minaj. Um, I think if Ellie Black comes, it would be a real competitive competition. Like it would put some extra, extra amount of
Just based off of how she performed at Worlds.
yeah.
Right, because she was like top 6 all around. Made the vault and bars final.
I mean, Ellie Black
Had a
is the top gymnast in the world right now, and been for a while.
Of course, I'm just like It was so shocking to me when they fell at Worlds. They fell like at least once on bars, but then maybe once on they had a rough beam or floor. I don't know. They didn't look quite as strong as they have, like, I don't know. They
I
I was
mean,
gonna say last quad, but 2022 team finals, she was really clutch. So
I mean this in the nicest way possible. I think Ellie Hill is on the downward hill of her career. So
uh,
I mean, if it wasn't for the Olympics, if it wasn't for Worlds being in Montreal in 2017, I really think Ellie Black would have retired after Rio. But she wanted to do her home Worlds, and she came in second, so she just kept going, and she's just still here. But who knows? Ellie Black could be like Chutso and be around for 20 more years. I don't know.
well, at this point, I think that honestly, her priority in 2022 was definitely the team, and she like qualified them, like, right, they won that medal, which was really big for their program. And so probably she's thinking they might be able to like get a medal if they peak their team in 2024 at the Olympics. And the fact that they're still remaining like top 10 in the world all around, even with some mistakes, is like not a bad thing either.
It's
Like, I
not.
can see the reasons to continue.
I'm not saying it's bad that she's continuing. It's just certain things look scary now with Ellie Black, where before it looked comfortable.
Definitely. Even though she's been doing skate gymnastics since like 2012.
Oh my God, so much. But if Ellie Black was here, I think she would be in contention for a medal in the all around. Maybe even
Yeah,
an equal
yeah.
bars medal. Maybe even a vault medal, depending on what two vaults she put up.
Not Ali Black beating the American girls, getting a silver.
It's possible. I mean, I think the Americans sent the right team to Pan Americans. It's just,
They have to hit.
yes, yeah. I still think America's B team still should be able to beat Brazil's A team, though.
The US's B team should beat Brazil's A team
I think so.
when everyone's hitting, or just like with their average scores.
With everyone's hitting, I still think, the team they sent to Pan American Games still beat the world team.
Who's the US's bars and beam lineup for team finals?
But there's no team final, so it's going to be oh gosh, what is
Qualification
it?
is team finals.
Yes, but the
So they'll have four up,
oh,
three.
there we go. Thank you. I couldn't think of what is the format. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. The
No,
format
you're
is going to
fine.
be four. So for bars, I believe. Well, ain't no. I believe they have to use Tiana,
Hmm.
Kayla DeSello, Jordan Charles, Zoe Miller. The fifth person is going to be Kalia Lincoln, and they don't want to use her at all. So I think those are the four girls that they use on bars, and on beam, I think is the same thing as that, but Tiana is the anchor,
Hmm.
and Zoe
And Zoe's where?
sits out.
Zoe sits out of beam. So you want Tiana to do the all arounds and not Kalia and Zoe?
Yeah. So in my mind, the team that makes most sense to me, it was Jordan, DeCello, and Tiana doing the all around. Sorry, Zoe. Zoe just doing bars. And Kalia Lincoln doing three events, the other three events.
Oh, okay. It's a little different from how I feel, but
How do you feel?
that's not like outrageous by any means, what you said. I want Zoe to do the all arounds, but also like I don't know how Zoe is mentally and like physically also like like I always like wish I knew day to day how the athletes work because it's like for all I know like Zoe could be like telling the national team coordinators like hey I actually don't feel like confident enough to like do all around like can I just do bars or whatever. But if I hope she's feeling confident because I think she has great all around potential. And I've seen her look really confident before when she's competing. She's just had a bunch of rough routines at the end of the season, or yeah, earlier this season. So,
How would
how
you,
would I do the
how would,
team? Sorry.
yeah, no, that's exactly what I was. How do you?
um. Okay. I haven't really given it thought, so I feel like I'm my picks would be more emotional because like first instinct is I want Kalia to do the all arounds, but I don't actually know that the how the numbers would crunch down. For instance, so Kalia's doing all arounds. I'm gonna have Kayla do all arounds, and Jordan doing all arounds, and then Tiana's sitting out of bars. So what does that mean? I didn't think about like the consequences of what that means. Can Zoe do more than bars then? Or is she just doing bars? And Tiana's doing the other three.
However you want to put it up, because either way, the team that they pick, there's going to be weakness on bars because your two best bar workers. Well, Zoe has to do bars. Like that's a has to do bars.
Right. Okay.
I think Jordan. I think Jordan has to do bars. But then the other three girls on the team are kind of weak on bars, so it's kind of a crapshoot. Like
No, I want Jordan to do bars. I don't know if want. So the first routine doesn't count towards the team score.
you could drop the lowest score out of
Oh, even
any
if
four
it's
score.
out of any four. That's
Hmm.
nice. So then
Very NCAA.
I definitely want Jordan doing all four because
And
I
then
think she's just has the highest potential scoring.
I'm sorry, friend. Then out of the team that they selected, you also have to have Kayla DeCello do bars too, because Tiana is very weak on bars, and then Tiana is very weak on bars, but Kalia Lincoln is so weak on bars that it's kind of like scary. So
It's okay. I don't. It doesn't scare
it's
me that bad.
between Tiana and Kalia. Who do you trust more to do the all around?
Kalia. Um, at least when I saw them at what World Trials and National Championships, which was the last time we saw them compete.
Hmm.
I'm definitely putting Kayla in the all around for a different reason from Jordan because I'm putting Kayla because I think she's gonna hit when the other girls who have higher scoring potential won't necessarily. They'll get nervous or whatever. And she's been beating them when the other girls fail to step up who have higher potential. And Kalia I said why I would put Kalia over Tiana. Tiana seems more inconsistent.
Let's talk about the implications for the American girls. How do you Jordan Childs, how do you feel like what do you feel like needs to happen for her at this Pan American Games to booster her reputation to going towards the next Olympic cycle?
I think she has to win Ooh, I was about to say I was like thinking about individual medals she would have to make, but I think more important actually, she has to hit the routines that she's put up for in qualification team finals. She just
Yes.
has to. And no, she doesn't have to, but like feels really important to me. That's my reaction. And then probably some individual medals wouldn't hurt. And I feel like gold medals, individual medals, make it more undeniable, kind of like that you should be on the team or whatever. You're a medal threat.
Does Zoe Miller have to win bars here?
No, not necessarily. If she like gets a 15 in team finals.
If she gets a 15 in team finals, that's huge. But I think she does need to win bars here at this competition. Actually, I think because Charlize didn't win bars at Worlds, right? There is still we still want Charlize to do bars at the Olympics, but there is still a spot for another bars worker, right? We don't know what Suni's health is gonna be like going towards next year. And actually, through her Self magazine, it kind of like she did kind of give like a soft retirement announcement, kind of in the Self magazine thing, like.
Was there like a specific thing that Suni said that makes you think that? Or was it just the overall impression of the article?
Just the overall impression of the article, just like her health issues and how hard it is, and how the doctors are telling her to stop doing gymnastics, but she loves the sport so much.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of gave I love the sport, but I like living more tease.
I get that. At the same time, like those are all things that she was saying, she's been saying, or like people have been saying about her, I guess, for like since the beginning of this year.
hmm And then with Gabby, I have all the hopes and dreams in the world, but she hasn't done gymnastics since 2016. Like that's like two Olympic cycles. Like I don't realistically know if Gabby can keep up with the girls this quad. If this comeback is very so much going to give Chelsea Memble like last Olympics, like yes, I was rooting for Chelsea Memble all the way, but
Oh, that's so
it was only
different.
so much.
That's a different conversation though. Like I want to hear about how much potential you think Chelsea actually had in 2021 if she had done a full season, by Olympic trials, say.
If it had not been for COVID, I think she would have been a very solid alternate. Maybe
In the year 2020?
yes.
What about in 2021 Olympic trials? She's there. No? Okay.
Because she had her ankle sprain injury right during that whole COVID break or
I
whatever.
can't remember.
The Olympic, she had a real bad ankle twist because she was trying to relearn how to do a 2.5 twist. And out of all of the hard stuff she was learning how to do, the damn 2.5 twist is the thing that took her out. So
Whoa.
the Olympics would have happened before that. So she would have been able to put together a beam routine, maybe a floor exercise routine that would have been competitive enough to possibly made an alternate position.
Oh, so she didn't compete in 2020, she competed in 2021?
Yes, because of COVID.
And when she competed in 2021, she was like competing with an injury or recovering from an ankle injury? Oh,
Yes.
okay. Thank you.
So if the Olympics would have happened when it was supposed to happen, I think she would have been more competitive. But do I honestly think Chelsea, again, 10 years out, would have been able to put together routines competitive for this quad? Well, for last quad, no. Just be honest. No.
I never heard her talk about in 2021, like, oh, I know things are not where they need to be in terms of like competitiveness. I think she thought she was like, this is just need to be. I need to just hit these routines.
I think for a second before she got hurt, she really thought she could have made the Olympics again. Like she was just relearning bit skills. She was relearning how to do bit skills real easily. She was putting routines together. She was putting pieces. Because if you was watching her blog, you know, before COVID happened, when she was really like Chelsea was learning how to do, like Chelsea had a double double and a damn full twisting double layout. Like Chelsea was about to slay these children, but you know her ankle injury happened because she was trying to learn how to, you know, incorporate her front, you know, tummy pass. Because you know now you have to do a front skill in one of your tummy passes, and she was trying to put that together, and I guess she thought she was going to do a 2.5 twist punch front, and that just did not happen for her. So
Was she doing the Dos Santos 2 on the same floor as the double double and full twisting double layout?
yeah, she never did that on a hard floor.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't know that she did those tumbles on a hard floor. Okay. Why did we start talking about Chelsea?
Because we was talking about Gabby. So Gabby, in all honesty, everybody, I don't know what Gabby. Okay, because like bars, Gabby double layout on bars was already kind of wonky in damn 2016. So, am I to believe it magically has gotten better when she hasn't done gymnastics in a couple of years? Like, am I to learn that she's learned how to do a Downey or Shang or one of these other release moves that she would have to do from like I see that she learned how to do a Ling to a Healy to a Ling, but she's already knew how to do that. She just never had a routine composition that it made sense. So am I really to like right now? I think Trinity Thomas has more of a shot making the Olympic team than Gabby Douglas, just because I've seen Trinity tumble. Like I don't know.
What do you think about the idea that Gabby's coaches, like Chow's and Buckeye, Kitia, like not, they
Mm-hmm.
both kind of let Gabby go to the Olympics with built-in deductions in her routines. But at the same time, I get the argument that those deductions are the deductions for those built-in form errors like are more likely to be taken in this quad versus those quads then.
Some of the things like with the ring lead, everybody talks about how bad Gabby ring lead was, and I admit, you know, I'm a Gabby Douglas fanatic.
It was just her head release for me.
But that's the way. If you look at most people rings in that quad, that's how most of the rings look, right? It wasn't until the judges really went in 2017 and was like, "Look,
Well, think
if you're
about
gonna
it.
do
Flavia turned senior in 2015. Her impact.
look how Nastia used to do her rings, and then have this conversation with me, like."
Those are very comparable switch ring leaps.
Look at the way Rebecca Bross used to do her switch rings. Look at the way Ivana Hung used to do her switch rings. Like,
I need to
that's
look
just
at
the way the
Rebecca
work.
Bross. Was it that bad?
It was just like Gabby's. Like, that's just the way they did it. Like, it wasn't until in 2017 Worlds, and then again in 2019 Worlds, when they reiterated that with Kara Eker of that is not a ring lead. That is not a ring lead. And every quad, they just finally take one skill and just be like, that is not how this is supposed to be done. Stop doing it. And then or do it right. But it takes them a while to catch up with it. Right now, they're on these tacachas with a half turns on bars. Like, but it took them a while to get to that because the girls been doing that bad for a long time.
What do you think about this comment that Gabby's gonna focus Anisha on turns?
Hi, Nisha. Let me try to put this up on screen, child. There we
Because
go.
I'm like remembering when Gabby did that. All of her
Kari,
turns
you
on
did-
floor,
okay.
all of her
I
turns on
haven't been
floor in 2016 were just like so bad, or would not get credited now for Gabby.
okay. So Nisha, we could talk about that in a second because yeah, like what's going on in Utah is crazy. She did leave Utah. I don't know where Carrie is going to school at now, but she left Utah, so that's the thing. Um,
Wait, what? How do you know that Garrett Aker left Utah? What's your source? Because I haven't seen anything that confirmed it.
they were talking. It happened during World, so nobody was paying it attention
I
because it
saw
happened during World.
the rumors, but who confirmed it?
Oh well, then maybe it's not confirmed yet, but I did see the rumors during Worlds.
Yes, me too. That makes me
Okay,
really sad. They said that she retired, right?
she.
That's what the rumors said. I'm sorry, it's not funny, but I'm really sad about it. And
I'm really.
I hope that,
It's not true.
I definitely hope that she did not retire from gymnastics. But I
I
also
hope
hope
her.
that like she's in a good situation. I'm worried
I
because
hope
it,
her finish
sorry.
off their careers at UCLA.
Yeah, why not? I would love that. What did you think
But
about the video of the girl choosing Nina? I think she's a level 10, and she chose like at her school,
LSU.
she had four hats.
I really love the way these girls are making their announcements a big deal because it's a big deal in other sports, like what school they're going to and stuff. Like how Khalees Woodford is doing her which school gets the rose thing. Like it's very cute.
I thought a lot of what Khalees is doing is cute too, but I don't like follow any other sports where this would be a thing. So to me, when you say like, oh, it's just because it's what other people are doing, we should have the like opportunity to do it, or like we should do it because doing it, it's working for them. Is that in terms of like money or notoriety? Because like, why does that make it the
It's
right choice for gymnasts?
the celebration of I'm going to college, right?
Yeah,
For gymnastics, for so long, going to the NCAA has been like the backup plan. Like, oh, you weren't good enough to go to the Olympics. Okay, go to the NCAA, right? It hasn't been something that has necessarily been celebrated from like, especially like the top recruits. It's something that's like, it's a read almost. It's like,
retire.
oh, you went to NCAA. Oh, so you retired from elite gymnastics, huh? Because you were in NCAA. Okay. Now NCAA is like it's a celebrated thing. It's like okay, I'm going to NC. It's like it's it means something now. And I think for a long time with NCAA, it's just been like, uh, yeah, I'm going to this school because I broke my foot going to the Olympics, so yay Gators. Now it's like I'm choosing to go to the Gators because I really want to go to college.
I think a lot of that probably has to do with the way like other people treat the sport, right? So they other
And plus,
people are excited about it, then the gymnasts are gonna like feel that and appreciate that.
plus the NCAA has become almost like a secondary league of gymnastics, almost where it's almost as important as the Olympic. Not quite as important as elite gymnastics, but
I mean,
it
what's the
is.
value system?
I think ratings. I think notoriety. I think viewership. I think how invested people are into the league, how much people know the NCAA code of points, how much people can tell you what should be a 10 and what shouldn't be a 10. Like, that's not the way the NCAA used to be. It used to be just like, oh, okay, it's on.
No, I think it's definitely in all of those things you said, like way more than elite gymnastics ever receives outside of the Olympics.
Correct. And the other thing is NCAA is every year where like outside the worlds, unless you're a gymnastics fan like us, you're not really. You might pay attention to nationals, you might pay attention to worlds, but that's about it. Uh, so you have that. Then you have the girls every 4 years. You have the exact same girls on the exact same teams. You get to build up a little superstar package right there that I don't think that elite girls get unless you're like a Simone Biles or like a superstar type girl.
And the fifth year really helps also.
Yeah, but that's going to come to an end very soon for a
Even
lot
for
of people.
grad students. I see. I
Yeah, I
don't.
don't
I
think
don't know how it works because I only got into NCAA really in the last year or two.
Okay, so the fifth year was given to the girls because of COVID, right? It was supposed to be because not the girls who actually was seniors during the COVID year, they didn't get nothing. But
Right.
every other class after that was supposed to get a fifth year because they never got to complete a year of school, right? It was supposed to be done. So 2021 is the first year that got a fifth year. 2022, 2023, and 2024. Next year is supposed to be the last year of the classes that are eligible for the fifth year. But I have a feeling that, because I mean, if you get hurt, you can get a fifth year. But if you were like healthy all 4 years, you're not supposed to be able to get a fifth
What
year.
is that called again? Who just?
A red shirt.
Yes, thank you. I think what I was confusing was that you had to be in grad school to take your fifth year because of COVID. Because there were some athletes who weren't in school, right? Who were just on the team for their fifth year, right?
Yeah. Yes. And there was some way that some people were able to get 6 years. I'm just not sure how.
Who? Alyssa
Like Lindsey
Bauman?
Brown,
Oh, Lindsey Brown, yes.
she got 6 years. I think.
Is Lindsey
What?
Brown Denver's top athlete of all time?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Speaking of Pan American Games, the Lindsey Brown story is very interesting to watch from Pan American Games. I don't know if y'all follow what Addicts and Catherine got going on over there at We Love Gymnastics, but um, so Lindsey Brown was should have qualified. I'm not going to say should have. Lindsey Brown was in the position to qualify to the Olympics at this World Championships. She had to beat two Icelandic gymnasts, and then because Haiti doesn't have a large gymnastics program, they would have given her a nominative spot just cause a friendly, whatever it's called, whatever. But that's not what happened. Lindsey Brown came behind one of the Icelandic gymnasts, so technically the spot should go to the country of Iceland. But because Iceland is so poor and they could give two shits about gymnastics, they might not even, you know, do the paperwork for the damn spot. So it might go to Lindsey Brown anyways. But she has to show that she's doing everything in her possibility to try to win her spot to Worlds on her own. That's why she's going through to
What does that mean? Did someone is there writing on what that means? That you have to show you're trying as hard as you. What does that entail?
according to Catherine, the way the rule works out is in order to get the I don't know what the spot is called, so I'm just saying nominative spot. But in order to get that Special Olympic spot that you just give out to a country with no other damn sports, she has to first prove that she's trying to, in her own right, earn the spot on her own merits. It's just not possible for her. And I think that's why she's going to these Pan American Games. Now, it's absolutely possible that she could bump up that bar routine and earn the spot on her own, but
How? Where would she have to? Where would she qualify?
I think she would have to win the all around competition.
At which competition?
Pan American Games?
Oh wow. Okay. How many
Or she
qualifying
would have
spots
to
are there
be,
for Paris here?
I think one, I think one. I think it's a one all around. I think she would have to be the top all arounder from a non qualifying country. So, I mean, that's possible. Still a long shot, but it's possible.
What about? So it would also skip over the people, the individuals who are already qualified to Paris, like Hillary.
Yeah. Yes, I think so.
Is Luisa Blanco here? Because I feel like Luisa would be competition for that spot.
I think so. I'm not sure what the Colombians are doing.
Like I'm trying to think who else could take that spot from Lindsay in the all around.
And all of the Mexican girls earn all three of their spots at the World Championship. So it's not it's not the Brazilians, it's not the Americans, it's not the Canadians, and it's not the Mexicans.
Because Mexico was in the top 12.
No, but they earned all three individual spots. They earned two all around spots and a individual spot at Worlds.
Right. Okay. So all three of those individuals are on the team here.
Hmm. So, Fran, let's move on. Let's transition on. Let's talk about what you wanted to talk about with the Chinese girl.
Okay. Wait, is this the last elite competition of the season for most of the gymnasts?
For most of the gymnasts, yes, but we still have the Swiss
Swiss?
Cup featuring Jay Perry and whoever's going there. So
I think Yule is going there. Yule
probably
Moldauer.
you'll goes everywhere.
He must like to
But you'll
compete.
probably will come to Pan American Games if they would let him.
He would rather go to Pan Am's, you said?
I wouldn't say rather. He probably would do both if they would let him.
Not both. Are you talking about the interview that said I wanted to talk about?
Yes.
Oh, that was the guy. That was the world champion, national champion, Jang Bohang, who won the Asian Games and the Universiad. He gave like
Hmm.
this funny, candid interview about a lot of things. And of course, like I think that someone on Twitter translated it. So it's not like I don't know how legit the translation is because the a lot of what I read was like very colloquial and like I don't know, funny language. But like if we can't if I don't know how to put it on the screen, so it's like yeah, I don't know. It's too much to go through to talk about.
It was something else that you was telling me about with the Chinese gymnast. Hold on, let me look. Uh, The triple L turn credited.
I kind of just like had a delayed reaction or it took a while for me to digest that no one had or that yeah, no one but also mainly why the Japanese gymnast Hatakeda didn't get credit for their triple L turn on floor and get it named after them, because I thought that one of their attempts was creditable in the all around.
Mm. It's so hard with that term. Like so many people submitted it, and like like Monikova has submitted it a bunch of times.
I
Like
didn't know that
a
she
bunch.
submitted it. Besides, like this
Mhm.
one time, like I thought the first time she did it was by accident. I swear they're not training it. Do you think they are?
I think she at least trains it. I
I
think
think literally, who is the best turner on floor? Because 99% of the gymnasts need to step up their turns. Like their turns are just at such a low level when in terms of quality and like
especially the
difficulty.
Americans.
But like they're acting like for dancers, these would be like really not good turns. Is and I
Hmm.
understand that's a different standard and not maybe the standard that the gymnasts are held to, but like I want a lot more and I feel like they all could do it if they put in the effort and the training and prioritize that.
I feel you too. I also feel like um, turns are something. It does take like practice and timing to get down because like people who can do. I'm trying to think of somebody who was like a really good turner from the Americans.
I used to think that Suni was, but no, I'm not so sure.
Who have good wolf turns,
And I
but
used to
that's
think
about it.
I thought her double L turn was better in like 2019. Or did she not do the double L turn then? Maybe I'm making that up.
She did it as a junior. At one point in time, Suni was doing a wolf turn, a double L turn, and a damn minimal turn.
Wow, why would she
Um,
choose to stop the memo? That's just like bad vibes to me.
it's a hard turn, and hell, the L turn is worth the same. So I mean, why not do the L turn? I guess. Um, like Mustafina, even though sometimes she would have weird turns, but her turns used to be great for the most part.
Yeah, and she was always getting like at least a triple turn, not and some most 50% of the time a quad turn.
Hmm. Turns are hard. It's so hard to risk your start value on turns because if you pause too much, you get a deduction. So you have to just go from the choreography straight into the turn. So you can't really set it up properly. Like that's why so many people choose to do wolf turns. And even those, like people, I think the judges is being kind of extra strict on people wolf turns too, because they weren't giving people credit for those either.
Wait, let's go through all the deductions the judges can take on like a wolf turn. So like
Okay, so you could take a precision deduction. You could take a under rotation. You could take an under rotation deduction, or you could devalue it for being under rotated.
wait, which
You
of
could take a,
these could these all are 1/10 or could they be 3/10?
I think under rotation is either 1/10 or devalued.
No, under rotation
Precision
I feel like is devalued, right? Ew,
is
are they
either one.
crediting the girls and taking under rotation deductions?
They can.
That
It
sounds
depends on how
so
far it's under
backwards.
rotated.
Hmm.
It depends on how far it's under rotated. You're also getting an over rotated deduction. Like if you're doing it past the 2 or 3 turns that you're saying that you're supposed to do, and you're doing like 3.5 turns, it's also a 1/10 of a point deduction.
I've been calling that precision for precision.
Precision is more like when there be weight because there's a certain arm position that you're supposed to do in the wolf turn. I think Blada does it correct. Like your arms are supposed to be in front of you like this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I think like the position is like where your arms are at in the air. Does it look
I
pretty?
don't
And
think
like so
that
many,
that should be the only correct position though. Like I think you can do a
and,
lot of things that would be pretty.
and a lot of people get that precision deduction on a lot of skills because they doesn't do. They do it. They do the skill, but they don't like their arms are everywhere. Yeah. Um. Clearly form deductions. Your leg is supposed to be at horizontal in the wolf turn, which a lot of people don't do.
What about if your leg, your toe touches or whatever, but you keep going? Does it end where you touch?
Yeah, I think it ends where your toe touches, wherever your toe drops.
And what if you fall out of it forwards or backwards?
I think it could be up to 5/10 of a point.
Lack of control. Falling on the apparatus.
Man, poor Marie Boyer. Like I've never seen somebody actually fall doing a double turn. Like she fell. Like
Didn't that gymnast, Kim Kelly, do that?
I don't remember, but probably. But probably.
She had this one really rough routine where she fell like 3 times, and one of them was on a double turn, I think. At least Marines was out of a memo.
um. So um. Let's talk about the war and how we feel about that. Let's end off. Let's end the people off with that today.
Okay.
Go ahead. You the one who said you wanted to bring it up. Tell the people how you feel, friend.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to someone about it. I don't know, because it's just been making me so sad. The, I mean, all week before there have been like lots of bombings from Israel onto Palestine and like lots of deaths and really like horrific violence. And that just like breaks my heart, and that's not how it should be. And then like this like really larger, really horrible attack on like a hospital happened yesterday, and like hundreds of people were killed. And it doesn't feel like the violence is going to end anytime soon, because Palestine, where most of the violence has been taking place for like decades. So it's not such a new conflict, even though the violence seems to be like at a peak, at least in terms of, I don't know, years. So I definitely
How do you?
want, oh, sorry.
No, no. I was just gonna say, how do you feel like? 'Cause I hear a lot of people saying we should have some kind of peace, but where do you feel like that peace can be brokered?
And well, one idea that could be pursued, of course, is just like that Israel backs off of what is left of Palestine and tries to, well, I don't know. I don't want to say tries to negotiate with Hamas, because, or what of Hamas is in Palestine, should I say? Um, so, because for all I know, they could have tried to before, and that has like its own history. But
Can,
giving the
Robert,
Palestinians their rights back and trying to like
can
find a nonviolent resolution.
we make a distinction between the Palestinian people and the terrorist group Hamas? Because I feel like people are acting like it's one and the same, and I don't feel like that's fair.
Yeah, a lot of people are. And I don't think it's fair either, because there are lots of Palestinian people who are not part of Hamas. The majority are not, as far as I know. And then, of course, lots of people who like disagree with any part of what they might be doing that may or may not include like the violence that they've been um, acting, but like also, yeah, I don't know. I want to also say that like I don't think you
But
have to condone violence in order to understand why violence has been like taking place and given the context of a situation.
do you feel like because the terrorist group Hamas went into that concert and killed a bunch of people, that the people of Israel, and I hate to choose my words carefully, certain religious groups in America are conflating the issue, and it's not saying that because are saying that the terrorist act that happened in Israel was the equivalent to America in 9/11, right?
Yeah,
But
that's like how my mom feels.
the same equivalent is in 9/11, we didn't go after Osama bin Laden at first. We went after Iran, who had nothing to do with it. So I feel like it's that same scenario where they're going after the
Do you
Palestinians.
mean was it
Who,
Iran or Iraq?
I'm so sorry, Iran, Iraq,
No,
one of
it's
the other
okay.
Middle Eastern countries. But the Palestinian
I
people,
mean,
first of all, this country of Israel is not the country of Israel of the Bible. It is not the same land. It's not the same location. So I feel like a lot of American people, especially a lot of American people of a certain religious persuasion, are really misconflating, misconstruing, manipulating this issue, and it's turning this into some kind of religious war, which is not. What happened is that the people of the Jewish people who were trying to escape the Germans' tyranny, the European Union, the NATO gave them this piece of land. The Palestinian people was like, "But bitch, we live here." It's like, and NATO was like, "Bitch, suck that shit up. It's their land now." And that's what happens. Absolutely, 1,000%. The Palestinian people is right. I just don't understand how people is conflating this issue. Like, if your people didn't steal them people land, like
it's just so sad, like, because it's just like an active war. Like, I think both of those countries have said that they're like at war with each other, like 10 days ago or
and
something. So there's
as
violence
a black person,
every day, if not every hour.
the way that Palestinian people are treated in the country of Israel kind of reminds me of how black people are treated in America, especially during the Jim Crow era, where we were like definitely second class citizens. Like at least like we're not supposed to be second class citizens anymore, but back then we were definitely second class citizens. And it's kind of hard not to be on the Palestinian people side.
Right. It's like it feels like a an obvious decision to me. Um, and it does also
And
feel like a repeating of history.
I don't feel like anything I just said was anti-Semitic or that I hate Jewish people or I feel like Jewish people deserve what's going on with them. I'm just saying I don't feel like what the Jewish people are doing is right.
I don't think anything you said was anti-Semitic either, for what it's worth. And I'm Jewish.
Speaking of things that I say that people are misinterpreting, let's talk about Twitter and how people really think I'm coming from for Jessica Gatto. Like, he was really. uh,
Yikes! Why did you get so much hate on that post? What did you do?
you seen it? Nothing. All I saw was chung battles. That was it. Like,
They had so
and, then,
many likes. The comments, like someone sent them there. I feel like, or they had a lot of followers. Those people
and now the Brazilian fans are up there like, "Yay! You see Rebecca Andrade is the best gymnast," and it's just like, wow, okay.
on the same post or a different post.
Yeah, on the same post, like you got a lot of Brazilian fans been in it.
Interesting.
It is interesting, but I'm gonna say this. I think the reason why people are giving me so much beef about it is because I made a video of two black gymnasts doing something damn near perfect, and a white girl was falling. And I'm sorry, it's this channel called Gymlandia, and I think his name is Langston.
Yeah,
And he made a
Langston.
really good Langston. I'm so sorry. He made a really good video recently about the Great White Hope, and that's kind of what it felt like happened. Like, how dare you? Nobody made them complaints when I was making videos about Simone falling and Simone tripping on her tumbling passes. No complaints. It was all laughs and giggles. But the second I talked about Jessica Gadarova, but that's how y'all people are. Y'all pick and choose. Pick, choose.
Of course. I mean, yeah, you have your face.
Well, friend, thank you for joining me. I think when I can't do lives for like 3 or 4 hours. It's like you guys get an hour from me and then I'm gone. So
No, it was a great
I love
conversation. Do you think that?
it.
Thank you
Was
for having me on. Also, again, do you
oh,
think
thank
that
you.
Jess
Go
is
ahead.
not gonna be at the Olympics because of this injury?
No, people are carrying on. She has plenty of time to recover. I mean,
Okay.
may she not recover at full strength? Possible.
Oh yeah, but she can be there for sure, right?
May we see the better Gatorova about time the Olympics come might be Jennifer? Possible.
Wow. Like they both. When have they both been at like this same level?
I don't think ever. I don't think ever. Because
Was
back in the days when Jennifer Gadarova was the greater Gadarova, Jessica was always her. And
Jennifer
Jennifer was
won junior worlds medals, right?
Jennifer came in second place to Morgan Hurd at 2020
2020 American
American Cup.
Cup. But in 2019, one of them won like a bronze on vault and
I
maybe
think it was
something
Jennifer.
else.
I
Jennifer
think it was Jennifer.
at the first junior worlds.
I think it was Jennifer.
That'd be great if they could like both just like have like I don't know, is it's not even a year, it's 9 months or whatever.
And if they both were at their best, I think Jennifer would be better because when Jennifer was at her best, Jennifer was amazing. I'm not saying Jessica isn't amazing. Jessica is amazing. It's just Jennifer was just.
I'm ready for them to be the two all arounders in the Paris all around final because they're both peaking.
Have the Italians ever had both of the DiMaggio sisters not hurt at the same time?
No, well, like Alice has never been on the level when Asia, maybe like pre Cairo Cup this year, kinda, right? But not even. She wasn't like her peak, so she hadn't peaked yet. That'd be funny if in Paris, like the second subdivision, or not subdivision, um, group, you know, like the group starting on bars
Hmm.
is like both the D'Amatos and both of the Gadarovas. And then who would be the last two.
I don't know what Team GB for do now. I mean, it was just a fluke competition. I think they'll be back up in there.
Can they even really, are they in a position where they can write off one of the girls who didn't do well for the team for next year? Like, do they have that depth?
I don't know. And see, my only thing is Becky Downing is such a risk.
Wow, but you're bringing her up.
She was the alternate.
Nice. I like you bringing Becky up.
It's just such a risk. It's just such a risk.
She's grinding, I think.
Um, I also don't know what Team Japan needs to. I don't know.
Wait, why did Japan flop at this Worlds? I was so ready. I predicted they were gonna win the bronze medal.
Elephant, and I don't know. I don't know. I was definitely expecting them to come in third place, maybe win, definitely win beam.
Well, I thought that from the angle I saw, the Urara Ashikawa, the girl who won beam in 2021, from the I saw it like through like this weird angle where it's like the beam is like this long ways, so you can't really, it's not a good angle to watch beam anyways. But I thought from that angle she was really underscored in the final. She was like fifth with a 14.066.
I
Fourth
mean,
was Sane, and third Rebecca. They were all like right there above 14.3.
yeah, I mean that's big because last year nobody scored over like 13-7. I think one. So
With maybe a few better routines than those ones, perhaps? Or were these three routines better than all of 2022?
I mean, Rebecca made some changes to her routines, but it wasn't.
But I feel like she like missed a connection and didn't get her ups. I don't know.
And I just really wonder what Sky Blakely would have scored without Fowler.
Definitely would have gotten a 14.
Hell, I think Charlize would have won bronze in them event finals if
She
she
didn't
hadn't have
fall.
fallen. That was like the best damn being routine Charlize ever done.
Why did you think it was better than the team finals or the all around? Sorry.
To me, her best routine was from Qual. Yeah, I say Charlize's best routine was from Qual.
Okay. Why do you think Rebecca took out the back handspring from the dismount?
Consistency, I think it was easier for her just to go round off double pipe.
Well, she was also training the full in, right? At the Worlds. So do you think that's why?
Um, I just think it was easier for her to do a round off double pipe.
Definitely would be easier. I just thought she was trying to upgrade and she didn't. But
I think she took her upgrades to floor. Because then she do like a different dance packet passage than what she was normally doing.
Oh, really? I thought she just did a switch leap to
Oh, I don't know. I'm asking.
on floor. She does a switch leap to a switch full, and then she does a tour jeté half, like a split leap full, and then she does her memo Mustafana into a stag leap and her four tumbles. But she was doing back handspring, layout, step out, round off back handspring, full in. She was doing switch leap mount to switch half back handspring. Also, she was doing switch half back handspring layout step out. Should we hang up? You look tired. We said
Oh no 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 no
goodbye.
no no no! I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I just got one more thing I want to talk about, and then we can hang up.
Oh, talk about
So
it.
I
Yeah.
I did another video earlier of Melanie at her best versus Charlize at her best. Who do you think come in third place?
Oh, you didn't see my comment? I commented.
I didn't pay what I didn't pay no attention yet.
I think I said based off of these routines that you included, which were like, I couldn't tell, were they all just from the same for both gymnasts, like Melanie team final, Charlize
Charlize,
qualification, or was it their
from
best
from
scoring
my opinion,
routines?
from my opinion, Charlize's best scoring routines, from what I could see, were from all of her four routines from qualifications.
Oh, all four. And same for Melanie, or floor
For
is all
Melanie,
around?
her three best scoring routines, her beam, vault, and bars are her three best scoring routines from team finals, but her floor, her best scoring routines from all around.
Agree. So I wrote that I think based off of these 8 routines, Shilese probably beats Melanie by like 2 to 3 tenths in
I,
difficulty, but Melanie beats Shilese by that much, if not more, in terms of execution based off of those performances. But in terms of the actual question, who at their best, because I don't think Shilese was at her best in those routines, would win, it would be Shilese, like every time, I think.
I think with a few more upgrades, Charlize is competitive with Rebecca.
Yes, Shilese is not, she played it really safe a bunch of times, which is fine, but like, I'm just disappointed as a fan.
But that's Charlize. That's what Charlize. That's
I know,
what
I've
like
been
Charlize.
disappointed since 2019,
Charlize is the
2021.
opposite. Charlize is the opposite of Suni. Suni gives you an upgrade video. You best believe that upgrade gonna be in a routine some way, some shape, somehow. Charlize give you an upgrade video. No,
Very Grace
she's
McCallum.
training. Gosh, Grace McCallum with the upgraded videos that we seen should have been the second best gymnast in the world. Like
Yeah,
Grace had a chung and an armored art. Like
going into Tokyo, it was supposed to be Simone, Grace, and then Victoria Listinova, I feel like,
she wouldn't have been old enough.
in my mind. No, in 2021, when it was like 2020, and we knew that the Olympics were put back a year and she would be able to compete.
If the Olympics would have been held in 2020, my team, I think it would have been Simone, Suni, Morgan.
No, this is the all around. Or you're doing something different.
Uh,
Sorry. Say your
I'm
team,
just saying,
please.
before COVID, like if COVID never happened and they never pushed the Olympics back a year, I think the Olympic team would have been Simone, Suni, Morgan, and Leanne.
Really? I thought you were gonna say Riley and Jade.
Oh my God, I forgot Riley. But see, in 2020, no, I don't think Riley would have made the team because in 2020, that's when she was first started going through with Maggie Haney and she was leaving. No, she wouldn't have made the team.
Wow. Okay.
She might have been. She might have been where Michaela Skinner was at. She might have been the alternate, not alternate, but the individual spot. And with that, you guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Oscar, for joining
Bye.
me.
Bye, everyone.
And one more gymnastics is for every. No, I'm sorry. Gymnastics for everybody.
That's right.
The podcast.
Gymnastics is for
And
everyone.
gymnastics is for everyone in the future. We love you. Bye.
Bye.
No, Jordan Childs would have not been on the 2020 Olympic team if it was still in 2020. No, no, not at all. Not at. And neither would Michaela Skinner. And with that being said, bye.